Hi, so my capstone honors presentation is on police brutality relating with hip hop music. Okay, so the brief history about this is equality has always been an issue with humanity and especially in America, because and whether equality can be discriminated upon by race, age, gender, sexuality, disability, or religion. And African Americans have had the worst historical background in America due to slavery, racism, discrimination, systemic oppression, or systematic oppression, and the list just keeps going on and on because honestly, African Americans have had a tough time in America. Okay, next one. Hip hop in the fight. Hip hop is this generation's way of fighting for equality by exploiting police brutality against African Americans in a language teenagers and adults understand. People my age, my generation, we listen to music, we listen to famous people, we just we listen to a lot of music and we use Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Those are the ways we get our news. And if there's a verse in a song that's very popular, it will reach mainstream media and it will become very influential, especially in 2020. Um, yeah, so hip hop artists are the biggest influencers because everyone listens to music daily. So what they say matters because everyone will hear it. And yeah, hip hop artists use their own stories of injustice in society for their fans to listen and understand the pain being hidden from the public. J. Cole, he's got a song, Be Free, and he's got many other songs. Beyonce, she's got so much work out there right now. She uses her publicity to remind the public about the racism going on in African American communities. She uses her songs, public accounts, and movies to do this. I know she just released a song, or not a song, a movie on Disney Plus. It was about Black lives and Black culture, and you should really go watch that. I heard it was really inspirational. NWA is a different type of inspirational. They get more into the nitty gritty with their gangster rap. Tupac, then a Notorious Big, they had trouble with the law, and they were just both influential back then and still today. NWA was a rap group formed to piss off politicians and police officers by telling the people what life is really like in the streets. Its members were Eazy-E, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, MC Ren, DJ Yella, the DOC, and Arabian Prince. And I think their number one hit song is F the Police, which just, how do you word this? It just, it goes against the police and it incites protesting the police back then because they were acting more like a gang and they were more violent, and they targeted African Americans more than anyone, and they still do, the police. Okay, this is
for violent conduct
a movie.
Or the use of any vulgar.
This is a scene from the movie Straight Outta Compton. The police are attempting to silence them from singing the song F the Police, as you can see.
Obscene or abusive language in a public place. Note also, the performance of the song F the Police will not be permitted. Refusal to abide by all the Detroit City ordinances will result in immediate arrest and forfeiture.
Are we finished here? We got a show to do.
Just watch yourself.
You the dick. Fuck the police.
As you can see, it agitated the rap group because the police are basically infringing upon the First Amendment, which is just freedom of speech. And because they're a rap group and they're not breaking any laws, they're just singing. But yeah, they're breaking the First Amendment by telling them what they can or cannot say. right there, you can see the police are still watching and waiting for them to do one little slip up so they can act. Right here, Ice Cube, he gets agitated and he riles up the group, and they all go, "Yep, let's do it." So.
Hey, hold on. Y'all know the motherfucking police trying to tell us backstage? They trying to tell us what the fuck we can't play. Motherfuckers trying to tell us what the fuck we can't say. This is NWA. We do what the fuck we want to do. We say what the fuck we want to say. So everybody, put the middle fingers high in the sky. Until the punk ass cop backstage. Yo, Drake. What up? I got something to say.
And right there, the officers are moving to disband the crowd, or disband the rap group from continuing the song. And right here, someone fires a gun, but I honestly think it was an officer so that he could break up the concert. Okay, and right there, towards the ending, you could see all the people riled up, chanting "F the police," pounding on the side of the van, making it so they were tossing down fiery trash upon them. You can see how hip-hop can, some people can argue that hip-hop right there influenced the public to act wrongly, but I honestly disagree. I think the public acted exactly how they should have right there, because the police officers were acting like a gang. They were shouting "F you" as they were arresting Ice Cube, if you rewatch it. And they were just being more aggressive than they needed to be, and there was no point in the arrest because they did nothing wrong, except somebody fired a gun off in the crowd, and it wasn't their fault, so why were they arresting them when they could be looking for the person who fired the gun. Okay, systemic murder by the police. Police brutality, it went from beatings to just plain murder because some African Americans have died at the hands of the police. George Floyd, a 46-year-old former rapper, he allegedly tried to use a fake $20 bill to pay for something, and police officers pulled him out of his car, and they threw him in the backseat, and they just pulled him out of the car again, and then they knelt on his neck for about 9 minutes to where he choked to death, which was completely illegal, and the officers have been charged since. Breonna Taylor was a 26-year-old woman sleeping in her own home when a search warrant, which was not known to her, was made, and she was raided by the police, and in her sleep she was shot 8 times. Why? If she was sleeping, why can't you just put cuffs on them and arrest them legally? Why do you have to shoot her 8 times? Tatiana Jefferson, she was a 28-year-old woman who shot through a window after a call from her neighbor to 911. The neighbor saw that the front door was open, so she called saying that it could be a possible break-in, and instead of investigating, a police officer saw her in the window and just fired, killing her right in front of her nephew. Stephon Clark was a 22-year-old shot in his grandmother's backyard for holding his cell phone because officers thought he was trying to break in, and then when they addressed him, they thought he was aiming a gun at them when really he was holding a cell phone, and they shot him repeatedly until he was dead. Unarmed African Americans are being killed because of racism and systemic oppression because of the officers holding the weapons. Many of them are, not many, I should just say some police officers are racist and should have never been allowed in the police force, but they're there and something needs to be done about that. This is a video of George Floyd being detained.
For the first time, we are seeing the moments leading up to
ordering that release of 2 body camera videos from George Floyd's arrest and death.
Let me see your other hand. Please, both hands. Do nothing.
Just seconds after approaching the vehicle, rookie officer Thomas Lane pulls his gun and points it at a noticeably startled
Right there you can see George Floyd is cooperating.
and scared Floyd.
Please don't shoot me. Please, man. I'm not going to shoot you.
George Floyd doesn't want to die. He just keeps repeatedly begging, please don't shoot me, because as you can see, the officer opened the door. He's not supposed to open the door like that when George Floyd was obviously cooperating, and then he pulled his gun when you can clearly see his hands and he's not doing anything wrong. And then if you look right here,
There is a brief struggle as the officers
right there, they're throwing him into the back.
push the distraught Floyd into.
And then in a second, you can see, my lighting.
Later, Floyd is pulled out the other side.
He's pulled out the other side. If he was already in the car, why did they need to pull him out? Why couldn't they just close the door and take him to the station if that's what they were planning on doing? I don't understand that.
for the first time, we are
No, slide 9. Okay, hip-hop reflects on violence. Hip-hop artists are constantly creating songs to speak up on these injustices and to spread ideas and movement, such as holding charitable events like Common the Rapper. He set up a charity that helps African-American youth out on the streets. Kanye West set up a fund for George Floyd's daughter for $2 million or to pay for her college, and then $2 million went to Black Lives Matter in support of Breonna Taylor and many other victims. And other rappers are doing the same thing, not just Kanye and Common. There are many other rappers doing the exact same things. And this is a quote from Royce the 5'9". Hip-hop was that voice that America couldn't control. It was the voice of the streets that they didn't know what the next line is going to be, and it scared them because we spoke our unapologetic truth. We spoke about environment that we overlooked and that we didn't have a voice, they didn't have a say, they didn't have pretty much anything. And that hit me because it's a very good way of summing up hip-hop in America. Thank you.